In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Come, divine will, come pray in our praying. Jesus, we ask you to think in our thoughts. Gaze through our eyes. Listen through our listening. Speak in our speaking. Pray in our praying. Beat in our hearts beating. Breathe in our breathing. All for the glory of the Father, so that the Holy Spirit may come and renew the face of the earth. I enter into the first moment of the creation of the world, in which the Eternal Father said, "Fiat lux, let there be light," and issued forth the whole expanse of the universe. I enter into each and every thing that he created by fusing my soul within that creative word, fiat. I love you, I love you, I love you, my God, and each and every star. I love you in every sun and every moon. I love you in all the galaxies and the swirling nebula. I love you, I love you, I love you in each and every tree and all of the plants. And the plants as they grow, I adore you profoundly. I love you, I adore you, I glorify you, I praise you, I thank you, I bless you. In all of the fruits, and all of the flowers, and the fragrance of the flowers that ascend to you. I enter into all the fragrances of all the flowers, past, present, and future. And I want to place within that fragrance the frankincense of the divine will. rising up to worship you on behalf of all, and to beseech your kingdom. I love you, I love you, I love you in each and every rock, and all the rocks of the mountains. I love you in the birds as they sing. I love you in all the sounds of nature, and all the animals, and all the sounds they make, in every step of every creature, and every heartbeat and breath of every beast. I love you, I love you, I love you. May your kingdom come. I love you. I adore you, I glorify you. I praise you, I thank you, I bless you. In all of the fish and sea creatures. And the waves of all of the ocean's waves. I want to dissolve myself in each and every wave that has ever happened, past, present, and future, and place my I love you God upon that wave, and I ask you to move hearts and send your kingdom quickly upon the earth. I want to renew for you, my God, the joy that you felt when you first created man. I enter into that moment. I want to receive into my soul all of the love that you breathed into Adam as you infused life into his soul. I fuse into the first words that he spoke, and I return all of the infinite love back to you, saying, I love you, my God, my Father, the author of this, my life. Within these words of Adam, I ask you to send your kingdom. I love you, my God, my Father, the author of this, my life. I love you, my God, my Father, the author of this, my life. I want to read from the Virgin Mary in the Kingdom. This is day 19. And so we enter into this mystery that our Blessed Mother revealed to us, and we want to offer back all of the glory and honor that she gave to God in the moment of the Annunciation. We want to enter into this act, make it our own, and give it to God again right now, as though it were really happening again. Holy Mother, here I am again upon your maternal lap. As your child, I wish to be nourished at the banquet of your most sweet word, which provides me with the balm that heals the wounds of my miserable human will. Dear Mother, talk to me. Let your powerful words descend into my heart, to make of me a new creation, and to form the seed of the divine will in my soul. Dearest child, do you know why I so love telling you about the heavenly secrets of the divine fiat, of the incredible things it can accomplish in the soul in whom it completely reigns, and of the great harm produced in the soul in whom the human will reigns? So that you may love the divine fiat, allow it to establish its throne in you, and abhor your human will by making it the footstool of the divine will, and keeping it sacrificed at God's divine feet. Now, my child, listen closely to what your tender mother wishes to tell you. As I continued my life in Nazareth, the divine fiat continued to expand its kingdom within my soul. The divine will used my most menial acts, even the most insignificant ones, such as keeping the little house in order, starting the fire, sweeping, and all other acts that are common amongst families, to let me feel its life pulsating in all things, in the fire, in the water, in the food, in the air I breathed, in everything. And investing my little acts, the divine will formed upon them seas of light, grace, and sanctity. For wherever the divine will reigns, it has the power of forming, even from the smallest trifles, new heavens of enchanting beauty. Being immense, the divine will knows not how to do small things, but with its power it gives value to trifles, making of them the greatest things that leave heaven and earth astonished. Everything is holy, and everything is sacred for the soul who lives in the divine will. Now, child of my heart, listen closely. Several days before the descent of the eternal Word to earth, I could see the heavens opening and the Son of the divine Word at its portals, as though searching for one creature, for the chosen one, in whom, in making his flight, he would become the heavenly prisoner. Oh, how beautiful it was to see him at the portals of heaven, as though on the lookout, in search of the fortunate soul who would become the bearer of its Creator. The divine persons of the Most Holy Trinity no longer looked at the earth as estranged to them, because there was I, little Mary, who, in possessing the divine will, had formed in my soul its divine kingdom. I, Mary, in whom the divine Word would descend, with the reassurance that he was entering into his own residence, as it were, in whom he could find heaven, and the many sons of the many acts of the divine will accomplished within my soul. The divinity overflowed with love, and, removing the mantle of justice that cloaked the divine persons and overshadowed souls for so many centuries, the divine persons now cloaked themselves with the mantle of infinite mercy, and decreed among themselves the descent of the divine word. As they were about to resound the hour of the inauguration of the fulfillment of the divine word's descent, all heaven and earth were astonished, and stood in attention to witness such a great excess of love and such an unheard of prodigy. Your mother was ablaze with love, and, echoing the love of my Creator, I wanted to form one single sea of love, so that in this single sea of love the divine word might descend to earth. My prayers were incessant, and while I was praying in my little room, an angel came, sent from heaven as the messenger of the great King. He came before me, and bowing, greeted me. Hail, O Mary, our Queen! The divine fiat has filled you with grace. He has already pronounced his fiat, as he desires to descend to earth. He is right behind me, and desires your fiat to bring about the fulfillment of his fiat. At such a great announcement, so much desired by me, although I had never thought I was to be the chosen one, I was astonished and hesitated for an instant, when the angel of the Lord said to me, "Do not fear, our Queen, for you have found favor with God. You have conquered your Creator. Now, to complete this victory, you must pronounce your fiat." I pronounced my fiat, and oh, what a surprise! Our two fiats fused together, and the divine word descended within me. My fiat, receiving the same value as his divine fiat, formed from the seed of my humanity, the tiny humanity that would enclose the divine word, and the great prodigy of the incarnation was accomplished. We enter into this moment of the two fiats fusing together to form the great prodigy of the incarnation, and we place our love upon it, and we take this moment to offer it to God, giving him the glory and the sweetness as though it were truly an act happening again. We multiply the effects of this beautiful prodigy, and we use it as a prayer, this time to impetrate the coming of the divine will, the descent of the Holy Spirit into all hearts. We love you within this act of the incarnation. know the power of the supreme fiat. It raised me so high as to render me powerful, to the point of being able to create within myself the humanity which was to enclose the eternal Word, whom heaven and earth could not contain. The heavens were shaken, and all creation rejoiced, exulting with joy. They echoed around the little house of Nazareth to offer homage and honor to the Creator made man. In their mute language they said, "O prodigy of prodigies, which only a God can do, immensity has become little, power has become powerless, his unreachable height has lowered itself to the abyss of the womb of a virgin. He is immense and little, powerful and powerless, strong and weak all at once." My dear child, you cannot comprehend what your mother felt at the moment of the incarnation of the divine Word. Everyone yearned for and awaited my fiat, which I may call omnipotent. Now, dear child, listen closely to what your tender mother wishes to tell you. You should take to heart the importance of doing the divine will and living in it. Know that my power still exists. Let me therefore I'm gonna read that part again. Now, dear child, listen closely to what your tender mother wishes to tell you. You should take to heart the importance of doing the divine will and living in it. Know that my power still exists. Let me therefore pronounce my fiat over your soul. Know that I can do so only if you give me your own fiat. One fiat alone cannot produce a good effect, for the greatest works are always done between two souls. God himself did not want to descend to earth by himself, but wanted me together with him, in order to form the great prodigy of his incarnation. In my fiat and in God's fiat was the life of the man God formed. The destiny of mankind was restored. Heaven was no longer closed, and all goods were enclosed between these two fiats. Therefore, let us say together, fiat, 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 fiat. And within my loving maternal heart, I will enclose in you the life of the divine will. Heavenly Mother, we give you our fiat wholeheartedly. We take this moment to give everything to you, to give you our yes, our fiat, and to allow you to pronounce your fiat over us, so that the two fiats may fuse together and generate divine life. Now, listen closely to what your mother wishes to tell you, child of my heart. As soon as the little humanity of Jesus was formed in the womb, by the power of the supreme fiat, the Son of the eternal Word incarnated himself in me. And that's Son, S-U-N. So as soon as the little humanity of Jesus was formed in my womb, by the power of the supreme fiat, the Son of the eternal Word incarnated himself in me. I had my heaven formed by the fiat, all arrayed with the most refulgent stars that glittered with joys, beatitudes, and harmonies of divine beauty. And here she's talking about the heaven within her soul. She had heaven within her soul that's formed by all of the acts that she did in the divine will, all of her rounds, all of the love of all creation had been recreated within her soul. By virtue of the divine will and by virtue of her entering into all of those acts and placing her love upon them. I had my heaven formed by the fiat, all arrayed with the most refulgent stars that glittered with joys, beatitudes, and harmonies of divine beauty. The Son, S-U-N, of the eternal Word, refulgent with inaccessible light, came to take up his dwelling in this heaven of mine, and concealed his divinity within his little humanity. Because his humanity was unable to contain his divinity, the center of the Son, S-U-N, of the eternal Word, remained in his humanity, while its light overflowed beyond his humanity, and, investing heaven and earth, reached the heart of every creature. With the pulsating light of his divinity, he knocked at the door of every human heart, and, with voices of penetrating light, he entreated them, "My children, open the doors of your hearts to me. Grant me a place in your heart. I have descended from heaven to earth in order to form my life in each one of you. My dear mother is the center in whom I reside, and all of you, my children, are called to form the circumference within which I wish to reproduce, in each and every one of you, my own divine life." And Jesus' divine light knocked at every heart over and over again, without ever ceasing, while his little humanity moaned, wept, and yearned, hoping to be invited into each heart. He made his moans, tears, and pangs of love and pain flow within this divine light, which reached all hearts. Jesus, we fuse ourselves within you, within your humanity, and within your divinity, overflowing light to all hearts. And we want to place together with you, together with all of your moans, tears, and pangs of love and pain, we want to place all of our pangs of love, all of our tears, all of our pain all of our joy, all of our life, so that our souls may fuse with yours, Jesus, and all of our things, all of our emotions, all of our yearnings, all of the difficulties we encounter, the coldness, the dryness, any suffering we're experiencing, any cross, depression. We want to fuse all of these things with you, to keep you company in your sorrow, Jesus, as you were enclosed in your mother's womb. We want to give you the company and the loving requital of love that you yearned for so much. And we give you the space to continue and repeat your life within our souls, so that we too may dissolve within the uncreated light of your divinity and fly with you, reaching all times, all places, all hearts, and together with you, Jesus, knock on the doors of every heart. Holy Mother, we fuse ourselves within your womb, together with Jesus. And just as you feel his loving company, may you feel ours as well. We want to do this work of imploring all souls to open their doors together with you. We enter into this same work that happened between mother and son. We do it together with you, and in the great power of the divine will, we were there from all eternity. We were there at that time. And we repeat and we multiply these acts of love. So that Jesus' life may be generated in all hearts. At this moment, your mother began a new life. I was aware of everything my son did. I saw him consumed with seas of devouring love. Each one of his heartbeats, breaths, and pains were seas of love that he unleashed and that enveloped all creatures whom he acquired by the vehemence of his own love and sorrow. And as his little humanity was conceived, he conceived all the pains he was to endure up to the last day of his life. Jesus, we place our love upon each and every one of those pains, so that they may be sweetened for you. He enclosed all souls within himself, because he, being God, could contain everyone. His immensity enclosed all souls, and his all-embracing vision rendered all of them presence to him. Therefore, my beloved Son Jesus felt the weight and the burden of all the sins of each and every soul. And I, your mother, followed him in everything, and felt within my maternal heart the new generation of the pains of my sweet Jesus, and the new generation of all souls whom I, their mother, was to generate with my Son to grace, to light, and to the new life my dear Son came to bring to earth. My child, from the moment I was conceived, I loved you as a mother. I felt you within my heart. I was on fire with love for you, but I did not yet understand the purpose of these feelings. The divine fiat empowered me to carry out these acts of loving you while keeping hidden from me the purpose of these acts. It was only when Jesus incarnated himself in me that God revealed to me the purpose, whereby I understood the fruition of my maternity. I was to become not only the mother of Jesus, but the mother of all the living. This maternity of mine was to be forged on the anvil of suffering and love. My child, how much I loved you and still love you. Dear child, pay close attention now to the heights one may attain when the divine will takes up its operating life in the soul, and when the human will welcomes its operation without impeding its step. God's fiat, which by its very nature possesses the generating virtue, generates all blessings in the soul. It renders the soul fruitful, and it endows the soul with the office of motherhood, through which it governs all things and all blessings, even the one who created it. I'm going to read that part again. This is for all of us. This is true for all souls who want to receive the gift of the divine will. God's fiat, or divine will, which, by its very nature, possesses the generating virtue, generates all blessings in the soul. The divine will renders the soul fruitful, and it endows the soul with the office of motherhood, through which the soul governs all things and all blessings, even the one who created it. Motherhood signifies and exercises true love, heroic love. Such love is happy to give its life in exchange for the one who created it. Such love is happy to give its life in exchange for the one it has generated. Without such heroic love, the word motherhood is sterile, empty, and reduced to a mere word, and despite its many deeds, it does not truly exist. Therefore, my child, if you wish to generate all blessings, let the divine fiat take up its operating life in your soul, which will confer upon you the office of motherhood, whereby you may love everyone with a motherly love. And I, your mother, will teach you how to bring this motherhood to fruition within you, so that it becomes a divine and completely holy motherhood. Holy Mother, I abandon myself in your arms. Oh, how I long to bathe your maternal hands with my tears, to move you to compassion over the state of my poor soul. If you love me as a mother, enclose me within your heart, and let your love consume my misery and weakness. And may the power of the divine fiat, which you possess as a queen, establish its operating life in me, whereby I may say, my mother, you are all mine, and I am all yours. I'm going to read from the Book of Heaven. This is volume 12. I'm going to read from January 7th and January 10th, 1921. As I was in my usual state, my always lovable Jesus came and surrounded my neck with his arm. Then he drew close to my heart, and holding his breast between his hands, he squeezed it over my heart, and rivulets of milk came out of it. And with those rivulets of milk he filled my heart, and then he said to me, my daughter, see how much I love you. I wanted to fill all your heart with the milk of grace and of love. So everything you will say and do will be nothing other than the outpouring of the grace with which I have filled you. You will do nothing. You will only place your will at the mercy of my will, and I will do everything. You will be nothing other than the sound of my voice, the bearer of my will, the destroyer of the virtues in the human way, and the resurrector of the virtues in the divine way, marked by an eternal, immense, infinite point. Having said this, he disappeared. After a little while he came back, and I was feeling all annihilated, especially in thinking about certain things which it is not necessary to say here. My affliction was at the summit, and I said to myself, is it possible that there can be this? My Jesus, do not permit it. Perhaps you want the will, but not the act of this sacrifice. And then, in my hard state in which I find myself, I aspire to nothing but heaven. And Jesus, coming out from my interior, burst into a sob of crying. I could hear that sob reverberating in heaven and on earth. But as the sob was about to end, a smile took over which, like a sob, reverberated in heaven and earth. I remained enchanted, and my Jesus told me, my beloved daughter, after so much sorrow that creatures give me in these sad times, to the point of making me cry, and since it is the crying of a God, it reverberates in heaven and on earth. A smile will take over, which will fill heaven and earth with gladness. And this smile will arise on my lips when I see the first fruits, the daughters of my will, living not in the human sphere, but in the divine sphere. I will see them all marked by the eternal, immense, infinite will. I will see that eternal point which has life only in heaven, flowing over the earth and molding souls with its infinite principles, with the divine acting, with the multiplication of acts in one single act. And just as creation came out from the fiat, in the fiat will it be completed. So only the daughters of my will, in the fiat, will complete everything. And in my fiat, which will take life in them, I will receive complete love, glory, reparation, thanksgiving, and praise, and for everyone and for everything. My daughter, things return there where they come from. Everything came out from the fiat, and in the fiat it will all come to me. They will be few, the souls who will live in the divine will, but in the fiat they will give me everything. Now Luisa says, I was concerned about what is written above, and was saying to myself, I don't know what Jesus wants from me, yet he knows how bad I am and how I am good at nothing. And Jesus, moving in my interior, told me, My daughter, remember that years ago I asked you whether you wanted to live life in my will. And since I wanted you to live in my will, I wanted you to pronounce your yes in my own will. This yes was bound to an eternal point, and to a will that will have no end. This yes is in the center of my volition, and is surrounded by infinite immensity. And if it wants to get out, it almost cannot find the way. Therefore, at your little oppositions, at some discontent of yours, I laugh and I amuse myself, seeing you like those people who are bound of their own will in the depth of the sea, and wanting to get out they find nothing but water. And since they are bound in the depth of the sea, they feel the bother of wanting to get out, and in order to remain tranquil and happy, they plunge themselves even more into the depths of the sea. In the same way, in seeing you perplexed, as though wanting to get out and unable to do so, bound by your own yes, you plunge yourself even more into the depths of my will. I laugh, and I amuse myself, and then, do you think it is something trivial and easy to move from within my will? You would move an eternal point, and if you knew what it means to move an eternal point, you would tremble with fright. Then he added, The first yes in my fiat I asked of my dear Mama, and, oh, power of her fiat in my will. As soon as the divine fiat met with the fiat of my Mama, the two became one. My fiat raised her, divinized her, overshadowed her, and without human intervention, she conceived me, Son of God. Only in my fiat could she conceive me. My fiat communicated to her the immensity, the infinity, the fecundity, in a divine manner, and this is why the immense, the eternal, the infinite one could be conceived in her. As soon as she said, Fiat mihi, not only did she take possession of me, but she overshadowed all creatures, all created things together. She felt all the lives of creatures within herself, and from that moment she began to act as mother and queen of all. How many portents does this yes of my mamma not contain? If I wanted to tell them all, you would never finish hearing them. Now, a second yes in my will I asked of you, and you, though trembling, pronounced it. This yes in my volition will have its portents. It will have a divine fulfillment. You, follow me, and sink deeper into the immense sea of my will, and I will take care of everything. My mamma did not think about how I would get to conceive myself in her. She only said fiat mihi, and I took care of the way in which to be conceived. So you will do. I felt my poor mind immersed in the immense sea of the divine volition. Everywhere I could see the imprint of the fiat. I saw it in the sun, and it seems to me that the echo of the fiat in the sun brought me the divine love that darts through me, that wounds me, that flashes through me. And I, on the wings of the fiat of the sun, rose up to the Eternal One, and brought, in the name of the whole human family, the love that darted through the Supreme Majesty, that wounded him, that flashed through him. And I said, in your fiat you gave me all this love, and only in the fiat can I return it to you. I looked at the stars, and I could see the fiat in them, and in their sweet and meek twinkling, this fiat brought me the pacific love, the sweet love, the hidden love, the compassionate love in the very night of sin. And I, in the fiat of the stars, brought to the throne of the Eternal One, in the name of all, the pacific love, in order to put peace between heaven and earth, the sweet love of the loving souls, the hidden love of many others, the love of the creatures when, after sin, they return to God. As we read all of these things that Luisa writes, we enter into it and we do it together with her. But who can say all that I understood and did in so many fiats with which I saw all creation stream? I would be too long, therefore I stop here. Then my sweet Jesus took my hands in his, and clasping them tightly, he told me, my daughter, the fiat is all full of life, even more, it is life itself, and therefore all lives and all things come out from within the fiat. From my fiat, creation came out. Therefore, in each created thing one can see the imprint of the fiat. From the fiat mihi of my dear mamma, pronounced in my volition, having the same power of my creative fiat, redemption came out. So, there is nothing in redemption which does not contain the imprint of the fiat mihi of my mamma. Even my very humanity, my steps, the works, the words, were sealed by her fiat mihi. My pains, the wounds, the thorns, the cross, my blood, had the imprint of her fiat mihi, because things carry the imprint of the origin from which they came out. My origin in time was the fiat mihi of the Immaculate Mamma. Therefore, all my operating carries the mark of her fiat mihi. So, in each sacramental host, there is her fiat mihi. If man rises from sin, if the newborn is baptized, if heaven opens to receive souls, it is the fiat mihi of my mama that marks, that follows everything, and from it everything proceeds. O power of the fiat, it rises at each instant, it multiplies, and it makes itself life of all goods. Now, I want to tell you, Luisa, why I asked for your fiat, your yes in my will. I want my prayer that was taught. I want my prayer Sorry, I lost it. Oh, okay, now I want to tell you why I asked for your fiat, your yes in my will. I want my prayer that was taught, the fiat voluntas tua sicut in cielo et in terra, this prayer of so many centuries, of so many generations, to have its fulfillment and completion. This is why I wanted another yes in my will, another fiat containing the creative power. I want the fiat that rises at each instant, that multiplies for all. I want in one soul my same fiat which rises to my throne and with its creative power brings upon earth the life of the fiat on earth as it is in heaven. Surprised and annihilated in hearing this, I said, Jesus, what are you saying? And yet you know how bad I am and incapable of anything. And he, my daughter, it is my usual way to choose the most abject, incapable, and poor souls for my greatest works. My very mama had nothing extraordinary in her exterior life. No miracles, not a sign that would make her be distinguished from other women. Her only distinction was perfect virtue, to which almost no one paid attention. And if to other saints I gave the distinction of miracles, and others I adorned with my wounds, to my mama nothing, nothing. Yet she was the portent of portents, the miracle of miracles, the true and perfect crucified, no one else like her. I usually act like a master who has two servants. One seems a giant, Herculean, capable of everything. The other one, small, short, incapable, seems to be good at nothing. Not an important service. If the master keeps him, it is more out of charity, and also for his amusement. Now, having to send a billion to another country, what does he do? He calls the little one, the incapable one, and he entrusts the great sum to him, saying to him, if I entrust it to the giant, all will fix their attention on him. Thieves will assail him, they may rob him. And if he defends himself with his Herculean strength, he may remain wounded. I know that he is capable, but I want to spare him. I do not want to expose him to the obvious danger. On the other hand, this little one, knowing him to be incapable, no one will pay attention to him. No one would think that I might entrust such an important sum to him, and so he will come back safe and sound. The poor, incapable one is surprised that the master would trust him, when he could use the giant, and all trembling and humble, he goes to deposit the great sum, and no one deigning to look at him. And safe and sound he returns to his master, more trembling and humble than before. So I do. The greater the work I want to do, the more I choose poor, abject, ignorant souls, with no exteriority that might draw attention upon them. The abject state of the soul will serve as safe custody for my work. The thieves of self-esteem, of love of self, will not pay attention to her, knowing her inability, and she, humble and trembling, will carry out the office entrusted by me, knowing that, not herself, but I myself did everything in her. Heavenly Mother, we dissolve ourselves within your maternal heart, and together with you, we give our fiat, fusing within that fiat that you pronounced in the moment of the Incarnation, drawing from the sweetness of your grace, the sweet milk that you pour into our souls. We desire to, together with you, embrace all souls. We embrace everyone and everything in order to give God the glory as if all creatures had lived in the divine will. We give God the glory of all of the perfect versions of everybody's life that Jesus redid during his time on earth. We love you, we thank you, we praise you, most holy Trinity, everywhere and within everyone. Infused with the power of the divine will, we desire, like Mary, to be divine mothers, to generate the life of the divine will within all hearts. O power of the divine will that can do anything, that can form the most miraculous portents upon the most humble and abject, ignorant and incapable creatures. We give you our fiat. And knowing that it is you, your power, not our capability. Giving you our fiat, we generate life in all souls. And we bring to you, echoing Mary, echoing Luisa, we bring to you the complete return of the love of all creation. Fiat.